Hey y'all, out here at Greening Automotive Company, and they got a 1971 Camaro I think y'all are going to enjoy. Let me get the camera turned around and we'll take a quick look at it. Jesse, thanks so much for giving me some time today, brother.
You're welcome. Anytime.
These, well, you say anytime. I mean, that's not true.
Anytime whenever we can get together. It's tough at times.
Yeah, I call them like I see them, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't help myself. Anyways, you know, I love these second generation Camaros, man. Tell me a little bit about this one.
Well, they kind of have a soft spot in my heart. It's the Camaro that I've always really liked. I don't know why. It's just I like the lines on them. I think GM did a really good job with these cars and with this generation of body on them. I built one for myself several years ago. It got Scott's attention. Came into the shop wanting one like mine. So as luck would have it, you know, he was able to allow us to build one that's probably twice as better as the car I had, you know, as far as, especially with the parts and all that. So, but he
and you knew after you got yours done, if I could do it again, I'd change this or I'd do this different.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got a second chance at
absolutely
doing that.
Yes. Yeah, that always makes everything better. So
no, it turned out nice. Has you done any body mods to it?
Yes, we have. And kind of like a lot of our builds, we try and keep stuff subtle, and this car you really can, because again, GM did a bunch of neat, you know, had such a nice thing to start with.
Right.
One of the major ones would have been the swells in the quarter. You know, they kind of come out a little bit to accommodate the 355 tires in it.
You've done some to that rear quarter
wheel
well?
Yeah, we kind of bulged it out. They usually swag in towards the center of the car a little more and then come up on top of the quarter. These we put a little more of a swag in it to give more clearance for that tire, so we can keep the tire pushed out in the wheel well a lot, so it don't look like the tire's shoved in there so far.
But man, you could never tell.
Yeah,
I love these cars. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was just one of the little subtle things there. Another one's, that's the tall rear wing that they offered on these cars, but it's got about 3/4 of an inch taken out of it. And then the corners rounded off and a few other little mods to it, but just subtle stuff again, you know.
What about the nose?
These cars had the Endura nose cone on them, they called them, but which was a rubber stuff. The stuff's so hard to work with. You're always chasing it, trying to keep it nice. So we made this one out of sheet metal. So we may have pinched it a little more, but it's stock grill that's in it. And then we machined the little Camaro emblem in there just to add a little something to that dark space that's all in there. So.
Right. No, that emblem looks great. And, you know, you guys do a lot of that type of CNC work, custom CNC work. And when I walked up to the car, I told you, I was like, that. You all made that emblem, didn't you? You were like, yeah, because you just give it a look that very clean and modern and professional looking.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you would think that if you looked at that, it would look like something that could have came from General Motors.
Yeah, that's what we always try. Our name, Greening Auto Company, comes from my great-grandfather's old Chevrolet dealership, so it's really embedded in our blood, as far as all the, not to say that, we don't love the Fords and the Mopars and all that stuff, or even a lot of the European stuff too, but, GM, it's just always been close to home. And
they're easy to work on.
Yeah.
Take it from a guy who's trying to hot rod a Ford right now. I know why you don't hot rod Fords. I got it. Crystal clear, baby. I understand now. Was it a real split bumper car?
It was, yes. Yeah, it was brought to us. Scott found the car. And
now, let me be clear, because you keep saying Scott, and people are going to think, Scotty D had all kinds of money. Look at this car. It's not me, guys. He has a client named Scott. Just happens to be the same name.
Yeah. Scott Goen is his name. He's from the Huntsville area, so it's definitely different Scotty.
Yeah.
Scott.
What about that chin spoiler, that carbon fiber? Is that? I think
that's actually, it is. It's actually an anvil part. And also, if you notice on the car, the inner wheel wells for the car are carbon, full true carbon piece from Anvil as well. So those are the three, off-the-shelf pieces, if you will, and that we've gotten for the car. But they make a really nice product. The quality isn't really well. They fit well. So we decided to use those on there just to give it a little splash of carbon on it. And then you'll see a little bit here around, a little bit on the door handles, which we machine the little door handle that goes on them. Like the moldings around the windows and stripes are all, sprayed satin finish black that we use on a lot of the cars. So
those stripes.
Yes.
And that hood, is that a custom hood y'all made?
It is, and it's we wanted to keep this being a blown LS7 in it. We wanted to keep the hood low on it. That's one thing I think a lot of people kind of go off track a little bit on this car, is put a big cowl hood on them and so forth.
It's very easy to do.
Oh, it'd be so much easier than doing what we did here.
But it wouldn't look nearly as good.
Scott would have appreciated the bill probably a little better too, after all the work we put into that. But
for a hood?
Yeah, exactly. But the idea behind this one was to kind of mimic some of the GM influence. Was you see that shape on some of the newer Cadillac
Oh
hoods
yeah,
so
like
forth?
CTSV.
Exactly.
You're exactly
Yep.
right.
And
Yeah, I
so-
see it now.
And so we wanted to, I felt that shape fit really well with this car, so we decided to do a shape like that. But it's all sheet metal that we made and cut up in an original hood to get it in there. But it's subtle,
puzzle.
so yeah. And so we didn't want a big. It was just enough there to help us fit all that blower under the hood. So
I really dig them headlights too. What are they out of?
those are actually a off-the-shelf part too. It's a I think a Jeep replacement bulb. I can't remember the manufacturer's name, but they I think they're readily available off the Amazon or some of the other light houses, as far as be able to get them. But my gosh, they're true LED bulbs. Excellent to drive with at night.
I bet, and they look cool.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
fit the
it
bill
fits
being
the
black.
car,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, again, on this Camaro, man, you absolutely knocked it out of the park. I found
you.
it in Nashville, and I come down here today to shoot it because I was so interested. I knew people would love it, and I wanted to get it out.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate that.
And the interior fits this build perfect.
Yeah, thank you. We wanted to have a I don't know, I guess you'd call it a sport touring look to it, and you probably see a few European influences in it and so forth with the gauge cluster the way it's built.
Oh, that gauge cluster is way cool. Where'd you get that at?
Classic Instruments,
Really?
From their ICU unit.
But the whole thing?
No,
you all built that.
Yeah, we machined a lot of
That's the cool part. The gauges are cool, don't get me wrong, but that cluster is what I was really talking about. And it's a paddle shift car.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's
cool is that?
it's a Bowler transmission. It's the 4L85E, I believe, and it's just to handle the horsepower.
Right.
It's one of his heavy duty transmissions that he builds. And
Now I know I'm looking at where the gear shift is at, and to me that looks like a piece of aluminum that you've machined.
It is. We've machined the console is a aluminum fabbed console along with the bottom part of the dash, and then we machined the shift gate deal and power window switch plate push button, and then Paul Atkins covered all those pieces in leather for us, and he's done the whole interior for us.
Some work pretty good.
Yeah, real good. It's still not quite like a manual.
Right.
Like whenever you shift it downshift, it doesn't have that
Right.
it doesn't have the pull, the back.
It's still going to use its better judgment.
Exactly.
And he autocrosses it and all, I guess.
Yes, autocross, and then
3,000 miles, folks, and they've already placed the second set of tires on this car. So,
with that much, actually, the car, if you want to horse around in it and go blow the tires off of it, it's got plenty of horsepower for that. But with all the DSC suspension under it, and we got JRI shocks on it, and I mean it's dialed in really well, and so it'll handle the power very well too. And then also to haul it down, the bare brakes and all that. I mean, it's a really impressive car to drive. Yes, yeah.
Wow, very nice job. Man, I like that. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's a Mast Motorsports LS7 with a Whipple supercharger on it. It's 810 horse. And then we use the DSE headers. They're actually Clayton Machine Works valve covers on it.
Right.
And which we were helping Clay a while back machine some prototypes of those.
Is that a stock serpentine belt system?
No, that's a Greening Auto Company 8-rib system to work with the Vintage Air front runner system.
I didn't even know y'all did that.
Yeah, so we've got a few of them out there, and Mast has done some testing on it and so forth, and this one's doing well. So it's doing pretty well. We've had to go back on a few of the brackets and so forth because there's a ton of tension on these belts to be able to run all this. It's been doing well. So, but we
they got to be exactly true.
Oh gosh,
you start throwing belts, right?
Yeah, and you start revving them up, 65, 6,800 RPM. These little pulleys are really whizzing.
Singing. Yeah.
And so
it's got all the creature comforts, air, and all that kind of stuff on it too.
Yeah, it does well. So.
No, I love the carbon fiber inner fenders. And on one of your normal builds, you probably wouldn't use that flexible stuff down there to get over the suspension. But this, again, being a car that's going to be driven all the time, and it doesn't look bad. I like what you did with the rivets to put that in there. So I think it fits. I think it works.
Yeah, we try and keep a nice splash there, a little bit of an OE look maybe,
well, brother, again, I think you really rocked this one.
Hey, thank you very much.
So there you go, from Greening Auto Company, 1970 second generation street machine Camaro. Hope you all have enjoyed it. See ya! Hey y'all, don't forget to visit ScottieDTV.com for more cool content and an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the logo at the end of this video.